Hey everybody. So last week we did a little video. We did some top tips, 3 top tips. But we decided this week we were going to do a video about 5 things to think about if you've never taken your baby swimming. Firstly, just a quick hello to everybody. Hello if you're watching in the UK. We had a few people from overseas watching last time as well, so thanks for the thumbs up from New York and Sydney. It was really good to see that you guys were watching in on us. We're going to kick off with something really simple. We mentioned it briefly last week actually, is what to wear. And really I'm talking about the babies. So we'll blast over that pretty quickly. 2 nappies. One is a nappy, a swim nappy, and the other one is a set of neoprene swimming trunks. We like these splash-about ones because they hold everything in that you don't want to get out. So I always strongly recommend splash-about. No commission, they're just really, really good. The other thing that you can put your babies in, certainly if it's not a hydro pool, is a wetsuit. Wetsuits come in quite a lot of shapes and sizes. There's a lot of variety, and the same as there's lots of different shapes and sizes of babies. We're going to put a video about wetsuits on our YouTube, so if you find us on YouTube, Water Babies Kent, and subscribe, it'll be up in a couple of days. If you're not watching this live, it's probably already there. Wetsuits, that brings me on to the next thing to think about, which is water temperature. If you're taking your baby swimming, they're going to be more sensitive to the temperature than you are. Certainly if they're younger than 3 months and less than 12 pounds, then they're going to be significantly more sensitive to the temperature, and it's quite important that we're mindful of that when we're swimming with them. Babies under a year old really need to be swimming in water that's 30 degrees and above, whether they're wearing a wetsuit or not. And also babies under 12 weeks and 12 pounds need to be in a hydro pool, and we would consider a hydro pool anything above 32, but typically they're 33, 34. Actually, do you know, I didn't think that about the American guys. I'm not sure what those are in Fahrenheit. I'm talking about Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, and 33, 34 Celsius for the hydro pool. So sorry guys, you have to do a conversion on the Fahrenheit. The next thing people think about is you know, how long you're going to be there. It can take you 20 minutes to get there, 10 or 15 minutes to get changed. How long are you in there before you're going to spend 15 minutes getting changed and drive 20 minutes home? Normally, we would say anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes. When we run a lesson, we run a 30-minute lesson, and by the end of that, because they're so busy, they're pretty much done. You know, they're tired. It's like going to the gym and having a workout for your baby. So, in terms of time in the water, anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes. There are obviously exceptions to that. You know, some babies just blast around for an hour and a half, and that's cool. If they're having a good time, then you know, enjoy yourselves and stay in there for as long as they want. The next thing that, you know, people want to think about is why. Like, why put the time and effort in? Why go? The benefits of taking your baby swimming are just enormous, numerous, especially regular baby swimming, in particular in structured swimming lessons with a baby. Those babies outperform their peers academically at school years and years after they did that swimming in the water. And a lot of that is centered around the developmental stimulation that you can gain from being in the water. As an environment, it's a great place to be. And there's always something that they can gather and gain. It's not just about swimming, it's about emotional and cognitive development. It's about bonding with us as parents, as dads and mums. And so when you take your baby swimming, it's not just the act of swimming that they're getting out of it. It's the exercise, it's the bonding, it's the stimulation, it's the interaction with you, which is completely different to when you're not in the water. For no other reason that you can't take a lot of the things that distract you into the water. So it really is time with just the pair of you, which is why it's such a strong bonding experience. This is another video that we're going to go and do, because we could talk about the benefits of baby swimming. We can quote the research on it as well, which we will do in another video. And again, I'm going to put that on our YouTube channel. And there's another one actually. There's a graphic one that we've got too, which we'll throw up on the Facebook page too. So follow us on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to catch that too. Feeding. When you take your baby swimming, in an ideal world, you don't want to feed them just before you get in the water. So the trick is to try and find a time where your baby isn't really hungry, because hungry equals grumpy. So make sure you're not feeding them right before you get in. In an ideal world, you want about an hour or so before you get in. Some babies, in particular breastfed babies, they feed very, very frequently, and they feed quite small amounts. And actually, you just have to take a common sense approach to feeding and swimming your baby. But avoid right before you get in, and definitely avoid hungry. But that brings me on to the next thing, is that they're going to be hungry when they get out. When we get out of the swimming pool, certainly when I get out, I'm ravenous, really hungry, and they're going to be exactly the same. So expect them to be hungry when you get out of the pool, even if it's not the time that they normally are hungry. And they're going to be tired too, actually, for that matter. And again, sometimes it's not when they're normally sleepy, not normally when they're going to have a snooze, but they will be hungry and they will be tired when you get out, because they've had a really good workout. They've really earned that rest. So those are the 5 basic things to think about. What to wear, what kind of water temperature you're looking for, how long you're going to spend in the water, why go swimming in the first place, what is it you're looking to gain out of it, and feeding. There's an extra one. I'm going to do a bonus one. The bonus one is what to do when you get in the water. When I first started baby swimming, my entry into baby swimming was taking my eldest daughter swimming, and we were going to go along to classes, but I decided to get ahead of the game because, you know, I'm a bit of a try-hard. So I decided to try and go swimming beforehand and get myself ready and get her ready. And everything was great. I had the bag packed right, I knew where I was going, I knew what the temperature of the water was, I knew all of the things that I needed to know, except what to do when I got in there. So we got in, and we just kind of chilled out and bobbed around and relaxed and just enjoyed being in the space together. But it turns out that's a really good approach. I didn't know it at the time, but that's a really good approach. The first couple of times that you're in the water with your baby, let it be about a sensory experience. Let it be about growing confidence. Let it be about spending some time with them and finding out what it is they're comfortable doing. And that's really important, because in building confidence in your baby in the water, you're looking to do the things that they're confident and comfortable doing. What we don't want to do is do things that they're uncomfortable with in the hope that they'll get comfortable doing them, because they won't. So find the things that they're comfortable with. Do they like water being trickled on them? Do they like water on their hair? Do they find it funny when you blow bubbles? Do they like swooshing around through the water? All of the natural movements that you would do on land, do in the water. Also, you tend to find that when they get in the water, once they settle in, they sort of start to take the lead a little bit. And we want to see that too. If they're taking the lead a little bit and they're moving around, they're busy, they're moving, they're working against the resistance of the water, but actually they're free from gravity, which means they feel a little bit more encouraged to move around. So explore that space together. Don't give it too long. Expect them to be hungry. Make sure they were wearing the right thing, and have a good time. That's about it, really. So guys, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you again soon.